So in case you guys saw my video last week, you saw me do a lot of comparisons to this deck, mainly because I feel this is probably the best deck in the theme deck format, which I know isn't saying a whole lot because theme deck's just its own thing. But if you're a beginner, theme deck is probably the way to go if you're looking to collect coins to get more packs and everything. Definitely every time like I have a little lull in my playing, I have played for since this game came out, Pokemon trading card game online, PTCGO. Since the game has been out, since getting those black and white theme decks and things like that, I do have lulls where I stop playing, and theme decks is always the way I get back into standard. I always play expanded just because sometimes the decks just stay good for a long time in expanded with a few tweaks here and there. My Durant video is a good example of that. Like, I did run that deck before tag team cards came out, but once tag team cards came out, it was just a matter of putting those in. So the highlight of this deck is Charizard, obviously. It's unlimited damage, essentially. I mean, in the best sense of unlimited damage. Obviously, since there's 20 cards in the deck, you would be limited to, let's see, it's 50 times the 20, that would be 1,000. 30 damage, 1,030 damage. I mean, that's gonna knock out anything, but I mean, there's no way you're gonna get all 20 of these energies to knock something out. But essentially, it's unlimited because it can knock out anything. Um, that ability, it does hurt itself when it's using its ability to search for the energy, and you are at the mercy of energy in the deck. However, this deck does have some solutions to it. I tweaked this deck to play in standard, and I actually think it's a lot of fun. I don't think it's too competitive, but it's competitive enough where I don't feel like I'm at a huge disadvantage. I do get some bad hands. Charmander, I think this is a really good Charmander for this Steam deck. It's, well, I mean, they're at the mercy of what's in the set. Um, but I like that it's 70 HP. It's one retreat costs. This attack, I don't love it. Every time I'm playing against an opponent and they use it, I'm like, I don't think that was the best move for you. Mainly because you lose that energy and you do want to set up. You lose the ability to retreat if the next turn if you attack, and you lose the ability to attack with this Charmeleon. Charmeleon, I think, is actually a pretty good card for this deck, to be honest. 30 damage and auto burn. That means you're at least doing 50 damage. Could be more if they keep getting tails, but because the rules change and now you guarantee get damage, kind of like poison, you just burn check afterwards to see if you heal from the burn. 50 damage is no lasting matter. I mean, it's 30 base, so it's not like it's going to be 100 damage if you're attacking a grass type, but that's still pretty good. And you don't lose energies, which is important because by the time you get to Charizard, um, you're going to want some of those energies. Farfetch'd, as I mentioned in the Blastoise deck, is an amazing starter. I really, really like this card. For theme deck battle, of course. Don't go running this in a standard deck. Even my standard deck obviously doesn't run this. It goes for Jirachi. Um, but I think this is great. The draw two, one retreat cost, a lot of the things that I've mentioned in the Blastoise deck. I hardly ever use this just because, well, you want to set up in theme deck battles. You don't have that many supporters. The Nidoqueen line makes this deck amazing. It's way better than Pidgey, in my opinion, or Pidgeotto, I should say, because Pidgeotto, for one, yes, the Pidgeotto is down to the stage one, so it's faster to get out. Unlike this one, where Nidorina is literally just there to get you Nidoqueen. Um, but just being able to pick your Pokemon and using Nidoqueen to essentially set up another Nidoqueen, since they give you two, Are issues with either the Need Arena being prized or something. Not so much for the Nidoran, but the Need Arena being prized does kind of hurt it. And if the other Nidoqueen's prized, but just being able to search for any Pokemon is amazing. You don't have to worry about the GX and EX limitation because it's a theme deck. They don't have GXs or EXs. And Powerful Laureate, I think this is really great synergy, mainly because if you're looking for any type of Pokemon, of course you're going to try to evolve. So being able to get more damage for most Pokemon on the bench, this actually makes it unique in that your utility Pokemon is actually an attacker. And just being able to have a Pokemon that has two purposes, and since you're able to do that, you can lose one Nidoqueen in your game. Like, it's fine. I usually have her as a bench former just because this ability is so amazing that I miss out on some attacks. But it actually isn't that bad because of the next Pokemon we'll talk about. Well, we're not talking about Nidoran, obviously, but the Nidoran in this family line, I think, is great because it helps you kind of set up if you're limited with no supporters or anything. You don't get that far-fetched start. You definitely um, don't want to start far-fetched, but this I would say is probably the third starter that you'd be looking at, and we'll talk about the first starter right now. So this line, Rapidash is not that great, to be honest. 70 HP and the one retreat are its saving grace. A lot better than that Psyduck. I don't know what they were thinking when they gave Psyduck to retreat costs from the Blastoise deck, but its attacks are very weak. 10 damage, at least you're not discarding an energy. But two energy cards for a chance of 40 damage, I don't think it's that great. I always find myself frustrated with this simply because I'm like, I could be setting up like a Nidoqueen because although Powerful Laureate is a very strong attack, um, three energies takes a while to set up. So sometimes it's like, do I want to attach that extra energy for a chance of 40 in case I didn't get that Rapidash, or do I want to just warm up a Nidoran? Charizard, I don't worry so much about because of the ability letting you get those energies out of the discard pile. Isn't I've never worried about attaching energies to a Charmander line, but when it comes to choosing between adding energy to a Ponyta or something in the Nidoran line, I'm always kind of stuck because this attack just makes it frustrating. But it's all made up for with Rapidash. There are so many games you can look them up in the Pokemon community that are determined by just how many heads you can get on agility. I've seen several screenshots of people I got like 20 heads during this game, and considering that um, the only other coin flip card in this deck is Timer Ball, which we'll get to. Um, it's all about this agility. If you get that heads, it's not even just limiting you to attack. It's limiting your opponent to effects. I've been in games where it's literally comes down to our Rapidashes determining the game. It's gone down to the point where I'm like, okay, so I can afford to miss two of these heads. But if I miss that third one, it's the game over. Or it comes down to the point where we're just attacking Rapidashes, and it's like the first person to get tail is gonna lose the game. And there's so many pivotal points like that. It makes it a little frustrating sometimes, and the reason why I say a little frustrating is because I know I've been at the other end of it where I've gotten the coin flips to work to my advantage. So it's one of those things, as I mentioned before in this channel, coin flips, RNG is just a part of the game. And it's nice when you're like stuck in it and you're like, oh, I'm just not going to win this game. And you get enough heads with your Rapidash to get back in the game. It's a little frustrating, I know, but honestly, if uh, hopefully we'll see it in the game I played today. You have to play it strategically. This deck has a lot of synergy, and you need to play to its advantages. Ponyta, I would say, is your second best starter. I mean, it could be worse if you're not getting anything else. Because if you do a whole game without ever getting a Farfetch'd, it's not the end of the world. It's fine. Um, because if you can get that Rapidash out, but you do want to get that Farfetch'd out to help you set up, because you have two stage twos you want to set up. Rapidash you usually get pretty fast, especially with the timer ball. The coins, I love getting two heads on this, especially in the theme deck thing. Just sometimes I use it to get my Nidorina and my Nidoqueen out. I'm like, cool. This is going to set me up. Any supporters are going to be gravy. Um, Nest Ball, of course, sets you up. I know I've done a lot of these in the Blastoise deck, so I'll only gloss over them. I know I did a lot on the Farfetch during this video, but I feel that it is a really good card for a theme deck. Switch, really good. You don't want to lose your energies to your Charizard, or if you're at 140 damage, which I was actually on in the game earlier today. My Charizard was at 140 damage, and I was able to switch out of there without having to use its ability to essentially kill itself, which that's actually an interesting thing with the Charizard thing. I have killed myself with the ability. Um, it's actually interesting because if you're at like 140 damage and you're like, oh, I need to get a kill this turn so I can be set up and be in a good position. I know if you're at 140 damage, you're going to die next turn. So why not just, you know, essentially just knock yourself out? Literally knock yourself out and just go and attack with your next Charizard or your Nidoqueen or whatever. Just get it out of the way. That way you control the pace of the battle. You're not at the mercy of your opponent. But yeah, sometimes I will use the switch. So I would obviously, if you don't have to knock yourself out, it's better not to do that. So I'll switch. I'll attach energy to Charizard and attack with the other Pokemon. That way, that Charizard at 140 damage can eventually battle. I'll just manually have to attach the energies. Oh darn, the way you're supposed to play the game. Brock, as I mentioned before, he's really great. There are going to be points where you're going to have to keep track of how many energy cards are left in your deck. Usually, what I do with Brock, since you get three basics of each thing, is I usually just get the stage one and the stage two back. Sometimes I do it with Nidoqueen, not so much as I do with the Charizard line, just because Nidoqueen I feel is too much of a utility to sacrifice. So I usually just let Charizard do the battling because that's what he's best at. Copycat's really good. You always want to count your opponent's hand before using Copycat because you might want to do Cynthia instead. And sometimes I debate whether you should use Copycat if they have 6 cards in their hand versus using Cynthia, uh, mainly because late game, if you feel there's some instances late game where you need a lot of cards and you can't be at the mercy of your opponent having a lot of cards in their hand because they're probably playing them out because this is Steam Deck. You get cards, you play them down. That's why supporters are a big need in theme decks. I'm just interested in that, like, they just took Bill and made him work better. Poor Bill. But this is the card. They should really call this like rival card at this point in time because it was Sharon, it was Hugh, and now it was Torino. See, I can't even keep track. They need to just call this rival card. Draw 3. Fan club is good for the same reason. Nest ball's good. You do want these at the beginning of the game, but I have had points where you have those no need for supporter moments, and you do this to thin the deck. And Kukui, is a good way to get to those Pokemon with very high HP. We'll talk about what I think is the second best deck in this format and how I think it's only second best because it has a weakness to Charizard, so I'm pretty sure that gives it away. But we'll stay tuned. So let's take a look at what I can do in a game today. Obviously, the Charizard coin is also a good incentive to get this theme deck. Uh, I've used it. I have this for my standard deck, which let me know in the comments if you guys want to see a profile of my standard version of this deck. Funny enough, it doesn't run Rapidash, even though it sung its praises. Rapidash is good in theme deck only, guys. Don't try to make it work outside of it. I really like these new deck boxes that they're giving us now for the theme decks. It's nice, slim. The only issue I have with it, I think, is it makes it really hard to tell what set they were from. I'm always having to look at that. And Pokemon, please start giving us sleeves. I know you don't give us sleeves in the actual cards, but it'd be nice to also collect some sleeves instead of having to use the default plain back thing. Um, but anyways, let's get going, guys. I don't know if I mentioned this. I did get the last prize tier. Um, I have 15 days left for this one. Again, if I really wanted to focus, I'm pretty sure I could like knock out the 2000 victory points, but I like playing with the theme deck format and other things. So as long as I get it, that's all I care about. I don't care about getting it too fast because then you get to the point where what am I gonna do? The ladder's gone. I don't have as much motivation to play. I mean, I guess I could use some of these tickets. Um, I usually use them when I'm done with the ladder. This time they've just kind of been piling up. Unfortunately, I don't like having this many tickets, but whenever there's um, the versus rewards ladder, I just find myself doing that. So they have been piling up. So maybe I should try to get this down. But you guys aren't here to see that. Um, Especially for these Steam Deck videos, I don't know how well they're going to do. So let's see what we're doing here. Okay, we're fighting against Steel. This is unfair. Although they do have really good attackers. So if I do get a bad setup, um, she could win the game. Plagued Medic. Interesting. Um, I wonder if that happened during this time. Okay, so I love this start. Unfortunately, guys, I was not paying attention to see if I got the hits. Oh, actually, I know I didn't get to see what she chose me to go because I know I didn't win because they didn't ask me. Up. This is great because I get to use my supporter since I'm going second. I don't so much care about the fact if my Farfetch gets knocked out. Usually in these games, Farfetch is going to get knocked out. That's just the way of life. Nope, I think Nidoran and this because of that type advantage. I'm not so worried about having to set up the Charizard as fast as I normally do. I'm going to be kicking myself if one of these next cards is a Charmeleon, though. Let's see if I'm kicking myself. All right, so collect. All right, cool. That makes me feel a little better. Otherwise, that would have sucked drawing a Charmeleon. It's like, great, could have set me up. And that's one of the reasons why I think we need to just call this rival Hop is the one now. So they just need to call it rival, just like they did with Professor's Research. Ooh, awesome. So I got that set up. I'm going to attach an energy to this. Next turn, if I don't get the Rapidash, I'll start powering up the Nidorina. So let's see what we got here. Ugh, more energy. You need it to make this deck work, but when you collect for 2 fire energies, sometimes you're just kind of there wondering what the RNG is doing to the shuffling of the deck. Let's see what happens here. Oof. Looks like he's gonna knock me out right now. Um, Hopefully I draw into a Rapidash or a Nidoqueen. Actually, I'm hoping I draw into a Nidoqueen or a supporter that helps me get that Nidoqueen or Rapidash. That'd be nice. What does his effect do again? Tails. He can't use the attack next turn. Well, let's hope he gets tails. And survey says he got heads. Great. Like I said before, their deck does have really good attackers. Oof. Well, looks like this is gonna be a short video, guys. I just got a bad setup. Honestly, I'm probably gonna play another one, just because I didn't get um a rival card. I didn't get Cynthia. I didn't get copycat. It was a rough game. It looked like it was gonna go good there for a second, but not so much. Okay, you got tails. Hopefully, I draw a Farfetch or supporter right now. A Charmander. Yay! And the funny thing is that this card does nothing. 30 damage. It's not great. Um, you know what? Uh, I'm just gonna sacrifice it. I honestly should just concede to save you guys time on how bad this is gonna be. Please stay tuned. I'm sure you'll see that there is more running time. I am gonna do another video after this. Oh, he's retreating. Interesting. Recharging. Does he have a switch? Because two metal saucers. I have a feeling he has a switch. I do this all the time with my ADPZ deck. You just basically just retreat and just do it again. So let's do paper, rock, scissors. I really hate this mechanic. Let's go for paper. Let's go for rock. All right, we won. Sweet. Um, I always think it's interesting because those things are done really fast. So you could try to meta it, like, oh, if they pick, which she might have done, because sometimes I do just spam paper. Gone like, oh, if she picked paper, then I should pick scissors. Oh, let's see. Are we still in this game? Oh, we might still be in it, guys. I don't think how that far in it. But we're still in it for now. I still think it's going to end at a loss because I'm just so far behind at this point. I don't even have a Ponyta on the field. Honestly, that's what I should have done. I should have gotten the Ponyta instead of the Farfetched. I'm already 2 prizes behind. I'm basically 3 prizes behind. That was a misplay on my part, guys. I should have gotten the Ponyta, but I think I'm honestly just over this game. Um, Let me see. Yeah, I should just. I'm gonna scoop for you guys. I don't think there's a card here that can really convince me otherwise. Um, no, I'm too far behind at this point. 3 prizes. At a certain point, guys, you just kind of have to scoop. But you know what? I'm just gonna do the honorable thing for my opponent and for me. I'm sorry, guys. There won't be an extra video at this. Sorry if you stuck around this long, but you're just gonna see me lose. But that way you guys can see how this deck handles because it looks like I'm getting everything I want. Now, guard press. I might be able to get 2 knockouts with the Charizard. However, I am going to be very limited after that. So let's see what we're doing here. I'm assuming he's getting energies with that Sonya. I really like Sonya. I felt it's a lot better than Pokemon Fan Club for obvious reasons. That utility between choosing basic Pokemon or choosing energy. I'm surprised it didn't say basic Pokemon that aren't EXs or GXs, but I don't know why they didn't choose to do that. It's very interesting in my opinion. So let's see what we have here. Actually, I won't be able to get the 2 knockouts with Charizard because I didn't realize that he is weak to lightning. All right, so I am gonna lose here, but you know, there's worse things. I should check the runtime for the video. Let's see where we're at here. So let's get this knockout. Finally, a knockout with this deck. This is a very bad example, but why I think this is the best deck in format. But sometimes you just get bad hands, unfortunately. So he's gonna change me to 150 damage. Hoping I can somehow sneak a win out of here. I can always copycat for Nidoqueen. Um, hopefully, I'm just gonna switch. As I mentioned, we're at that 140 point. He is gonna be able to attack next turn, but we'll see what we can do here. I'm gonna let's see here. I don't know if it's worth. It is worth it. I'm gonna do this Charizard. I'm gonna have to power you up later. I do need to switch right now. This is gonna see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's basically a Cynthia at this point. Let's see what we get here, guys. Maybe at least a timer ball. There's 2 Nidoqueens. Oh, we got the Nidoqueen. Sweet. All right. Let's hope there is a Nidorina in this deck right now. Uh, so I can at least get some damage. Is it oh, it's resistant to grass. Oh, we might still be in this game, guys. Oh, there is a Nidorina. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's enough of a comeback to be able to win, but I'm honestly amazed at the fact that I was able to come back. Oh, and I got a Rapidash out of that. That is amazing. All right. So, looks like we're still in it, guys. Um yeah, this is what I like about this deck. I know I was being a little down on it. Oh, that Ferrothorn. That Ferrothorn's a mean attacker. Um, yeah. um, let me take a look at it. You can see here it basically just kind of like hits you and then hides all the energy afterwards, which is really good. One of the things about Theme Deck is like energy is really hard to come by. So it being able to just be like, boom, and I'm going to hide. And then the next turn, one energy for the opportunity to do 120 damage is still pretty good. I mean, 120 damage is a little out there. Let's see. There is, in order to do ooh, let's see what we got here. All right, sweet. So we are still in this, guys. Um, I'm actually debating if I should just retreat so I'm able to hang on to these energies. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do that. The Fairthorn might knock my Rapidash out, but that's a chance I'm willing to take. He's gonna have to get actually, he can't. He doesn't have enough energies on it yet. Okay, sweet. So I am actually in a good spot right now, guys. Looks like it is going to be a comeback here. All right, let's get this going. I could start setting up this. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna start setting this up because the Charmander's prized. But let's get going here. Oh, the type advantage is the thing that saved me this game. If it wasn't for that type of oh sweet, and I'm not gonna take damage next turn. Farfetch, I needed you earlier. I can't complain. Farfetch did his job at the beginning, but that's why I really like Farfetch. Like, yes, I did lose a prize, so that's why I'm still behind. But just this fact of I'm not gonna do paper again, so I'm gonna do rock. Okay, if they're thinking rock, I'm gonna do paper. All right, cool. All right, so we are doing pretty well here. All right. I think I might get this, guys. Let's see what we're doing here. All right, I definitely want more energies in the deck. Um, I can't really afford to lose any more Pokemon, so normally I would like pick out a Char. Oh, that's why I was short a Charmander. I forgot about him being knocked out. I can't really afford to get another Pokemon because the Charizard's definitely gonna die or get knocked out here eventually. So I want to get my prizes because I do have prizes in him and him. I don't so much need the other ones, and I do want to kind of filter out the deck so I can draw more energy in case I need it. So let's see what we have here, guys. Let's hope I get that heads. I really need that heads now. Oh, awesome. Again, Rapidash just makes you come back. Timer Ball, where were you? I needed you earlier, Timer Ball. Where were you when I needed you? But Sharp, okay, so he's sacrificing the but Sharp. We got this. He can't win. There's no way or she I don't know, people pick different avatars. I don't want to gender discriminate here. Sweet. We won. Like there's no debate about it, guys. Like this is game, and it's all thanks to Rapidash. Well, I shouldn't say it's all thanks to Rapidash. As I mentioned before, I don't like putting Nidoqueen at risk. Um, but sometimes you have to, and as you saw, it paid off. And I did come to that point where I had to debate: do I want to put another energy on the Rapidash, or do I want to put an energy on that Nidoran line? And as you saw, putting the energy on that Nidoran line did pay off. So let's do another well played. And there you go, guys. That was amazing. The title for this video is going to kind of give it out. Um, you'll see my mood swings clicking. It this was a very interesting game, guys. Um, Feel free to watch the Blastoise video so you can see the other side of this. But yeah, this was a surprising victory for me, and there you go. I didn't even flip any coins for the timer ball, so that's a funny thing. That's what I mean by you see all these coin flips at the end of a Charizard battle, and that's usually how you can determine a win. Although the funny thing is, it was Nidoqueen. I think Nidoqueen was more of an MVP Pokemon. I'm sorry, I know he only did one attack, but I guess Rapidash was really good in this battle. So yeah, so I'll see you guys next week.